Alright guys, so it is time for an update. I know it's been a while, kind of sorry for that, but I got sick for a while. What else happened? I had to get another PC because my old one continued to have problems, so kind of part of it. That's why you saw like a few unedited videos, and then these past 2 to 3 weeks there's been basically no videos. Just I haven't been very healthy, and that's kind of my fault. I have a few health conditions already, and yeah, when I don't take care of myself, I pay for it tenfold. So that's kind of what happened. I was drinking like 8 to 12 Mountain Dews a day to kind of supplement energy that I didn't have to take care of all this, and it caught up with me to the point where, you know, I just had chronic fatigue, which is something that I get quite frequently if I don't, especially if I don't take care of myself, to the point where like I was literally just sleeping almost all day. And yeah, once that starts happening, it kind of like wakes me up to realize that I don't enjoy feeling bad. So it kind of, it's kicking the butt for me to start taking care of myself again. So I am doing that. I'm down to 1 Mountain Dew a day, and eventually I think I'm just going to cut those out because it's, yeah, like sugar and caffeine is addictive. It actually is addictive. I've been having headaches on top of everything, so it is addictive. I've cut those out, so I'm down to 1 a day, and I'm also including in a lot more whole foods, whole raw foods, which raw foods is not necessarily something you should do. It's not actually that healthy for you because your body isn't able to absorb all the nutrients in there, but lots of raw fruits and vegetables blended into a smoothie. I've been doing like 2 of those a day, large ones, and then just, of course, a lot of whole healthy foods cooked on top of that, and that's basically what's going to get me back on track. I can already feel the difference, and I've been doing this for 2 days where I've only had like 1 Mountain Dew. Yesterday was 1.5, today was 1, and then fruit juiced smoothies, raw, just like a pound of strawberries. Today, what I had this morning was like a pound of strawberries, like a large cup of kale. What else did I have? A little bit of fruit juice, some papaya in there, and then yesterday it was like 6 bananas, probably 2 cups of kale, some strawberries, I think, maybe, just kind of whatever I have. I bought a lot of fruits and veggies, just kind of cleanse myself and start feeling better. Otherwise, I'm just gonna feel bad all the time. So anyways, it's time for an update, kind of bring you up to speed on some of the stuff that's been happening when I felt like I could pick up the camera in the past week or so. My dragon turned into a girl and laid a bunch of eggs, so that's something. I've also got a few shots of the fish room. I think someone asked to see the Fahaka's tank, so we've got an update on that. And just kind of a few, I don't know, I just kind of went around and shot some stuff. I'm also having one other problem. If you haven't noticed, my YouTube channel name is Kyle Weltner, which is that's my legal name. If you know me on Facebook, the reason it's different there is because like 5 years ago, I used to drink a lot, and I don't do that anymore. And when I get on Facebook and I type in, I tell them my real name, it remembers me, and it remembers like who I used to hang out with somehow, some way, and it just tries to get me to hang out with those people again. And I've like they track me down, they start talking to me, and when I tell them I can't hang out with them anymore and I just don't want to do that, they get offended. People get pissed when you tell them, no, like, I don't want to be your friend. It's not even that. I just, like, I can't do that anymore. I don't want to go out to a bar. I want to go eat with you because we're going to do the stupid shit we used to do. People get mad. They get mad. So that's why I have to keep that stuff different on there. It shouldn't be a problem here, but basically, I kind of lost because I went off on my name and, like, Facebook. But, yeah, I'm trying to claim my AdSense from YouTube, and I can't do that without making my YouTube name my legal name, because they have to match, because I never branded my YouTube account. So it's a Google account just straight over to a YouTube account. There's no branding, so it's not like a separate channel controlled by my Google account. It's just one thing. I didn't brand it, so I screwed up there. I think I did. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix that. I know of other YouTubers that, there's a lot of YouTubers that just go straight off their name. I don't know if that's what they do. Basically, from what I've gathered is, unless I brand the account or somehow detach it from Google, my Gmail, I can't, you know, ever have a different name other than my legal name if I want to collect that AdSense. Maybe I can send off the tax form once and then change it, and then they won't care. I don't know. But I've literally changed my name, and Google has not updated my name on the tax file stuff to collect AdSense from them. And it was like $105, not a lot, but in the long term, if it's 1,000, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 in 5 years from now, which it very well could be, that's enough to pay for a very large tank for my Fahaka. And like, if 3 years from now I could collect $3,000, $2,000 even from AdSense, that's that like 300-gallon tank, you know, the 6x3x2. That would be this perfect place for my Fahaka to live in. So I absolutely want that. So that being said, if any of you are, if you know how to fix that for me, I will pay you. I'll give you like my first AdSense check. That's $100. I don't know, depending on how long it takes you. If it takes you like an hour or two, if you're smart, it should take like an hour less than that. I'll give you $100. So if that's hopefully good enough for somebody. If not, shrimp. I've got shrimp, fish, plants. You kind of name it. I will throw a very big, grateful box together and ship it to your house whenever you want it. If there's anybody out there that can help me with that. So I think that kind of covers it. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and we are going to get to this video, and I'm going to show you yeah, just some of the stuff that's been happening since I've been gone. And this is me being back, so I'm feeling better now. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do. It's going to take at least, after doing that to myself, it's going to take at least a week or two to be back to where I was just, when I had enough energy to do all this. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but I am back. I do have a working PC, phone, all that. Gimbal right now, working on the gimbal. So yeah, hopefully the gimbal, I get a little bit better with that. I don't know. Yeah, so I think, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you guys. I think that's it. I will see you at the end of the video. Alright, so we are in the fish room now, and I don't know really what to go over as far as what's happened. I'll go over like the big details, since I did kind of mention possibly I need help with something. These are my Lucas Fire Red Neocardinas. We can take a look at those. Sorry for the glare, it's just part of it, you know. I'm trying to fix this glare situation too. Most of them are pretty good. Like, there's a good old female right there, saddled. But trying to fix the glare situation. What I think I'm going to do is they make these little sliding curtain rail things that you see them in like hospitals and stuff. At least I do, because I'm in hospitals apparently all the time. But they make these little sliding curtain rails, and it's expensive. It would cost me at least $80, but it'd be worth it in that sense. Another thing I wish my AdSense would pay for. But I can run one of those little rails all the way around because I have the little, you know, the shape of my fish room is like a circle basically. I could literally just run a loop of curtain rail around, and it would allow me to actually hang a curtain and slide it just in front of like a certain tank space whenever I needed. Like if I wanted this tank to not have glare on it, you can see I get glare right there. I slide the curtain literally just right over that area in front of that tank and stuff. And, you know, maybe with a little bit of Velcro patches here and there, I could, you know, actually get it to where I don't have any glare. I think that's what another YouTuber does. He said he uses a curtain. I don't think he does a sliding curtain. The reason I want to do sliding curtain here, of course, is just because I can't have it in the way, basically, ever. When I need it out of the way, it has to be out of the way. And I think I could bunch it up over there in that corner. And, like, when I need it down, I just pull it down and slide it wherever I need it. But it's an idea. So, anyways, Rainbow's in here, doing fine. Let's, Killifish, everything's doing fine in here. These are actually, I don't know if I showed these to you, but in this tank I have my black rose from Flip Aquatics. I was going to do an unboxing. My unboxing just didn't go well for me, so I figured it wasn't appropriate to do an unboxing, considering I had a misunderstanding about my order. It's a non-issue though. I got 10 of them. All 10 survived. They sent me one extra didn't make it, but yep, there's a black rose right there. Pretty happy with it. That one looked like it has a tiny bit of red in it. Some of them look like they have a little bit of blue in it, and you know, they're black definitely, so it's just gonna take time. That's the black rose, you just gotta sit there and work with them, but they're doing good. I'm very happy with those. Let's see, this is, someone did ask me about this, the Fahaka tank and how it's doing. I am still cycling it as of now. Look how big that guy is. Like, he's pretty big. I don't have like massive hands, but he's pretty big. Let's see, I want to see how big this guy is. He is like 2.5 inches. You see how big he is? Boom, like 2 1/4. He's pretty big. It's a big one. It's probably a female though. I mean, females generally get bigger. But this is the Fahaka tank now, the 125. What's going to be his tank? I don't want that sitting in there getting its roots completely chopped and obliterated as a crypt. They obviously like uprooted it, but I got to get them out of there fairly soon. But it's still cycling through nitrites, so until we cycle through nitrites, he's not going in. And then I'll give it like a couple weeks after nitrites. Then I'll throw in some other fish and make sure everything's good, then he can go in. But we have this Halanthrium quadriceps right here. It's actually doing well. It's growing, which I'm surprised. I thought this plant would require more light than this, but it's doing good. And then we have Cryptspiralis, some giant Anubias, congensis, and then of course the bronze crypt when dead eyes. And those are a bullated form of bronze crypt. You won't always see bronze crypt with those little ruffles all over it. You won't see it as, you know, bumpy as that. And that's just something that the crypt grows into. It's not any different than any other crypt. Sometimes they do that, they grow into that. But that one's melting back a little bit, probably from being repotted. Hopefully it comes back. I've been thinking about adding a couple different plants to this. I think I might go with like a red tiger lotus, like possibly in the corner there, and maybe another one there, because I think having the lily pads up top would be cool. I think the puffer would like it. It's kind of part of the Nile. That's what it looks like there anyways. So I've been thinking about doing that, and also I would really like to add my crenums in here, but I already have the Cryptspiralis, so I don't know how well those would look together. So that's holding me back from doing that. But all in all, tank's doing good. It is lit by 3 of these 5K 4,000 lumen LEDs, and then I've also got a 3-foot marine LED, which I got these from eBay, and I like them. They're good accent lights. They don't, like this one right here, this 4-foot one lit up my 33 long, amazing. For a 55, it does not work. It only lights up like half the tank. So you, like, it shoots it really far down, but you'll have to get 2 of these for a 55, and they're $25 a piece at 48 inches, so they're really cheap. It's almost like a Stingray, but the beam angle is way too narrow to be nearly as good as a Stingray. Even for like a low light tank, the beam angle is too narrow to compare. But and then the infamous electric blue Acara babies, and they're looking pretty dang good. Also brings me to this light I got here. This light was sold to me as having 16,000 lumens, which is a complete and total utter lie. It was sold to me by CLL Pet Supplies. They're also, they're the ones out of Madison, Wisconsin, and they've got a few different usernames on eBay, but I get screwed over from them like so many times. It really, really sucks, but they have like the cheapest lights. You just got to know which ones to buy. I paid $60 for this, which was a gamble. I was like 16,000 lumens. It should be stupid bright. They're the ones I also get these lights from, which I really do like these. For $25, you get a 48-inch light, and it's not that bad. It's not great for taller tanks because the beam angle isn't very well, but good. But yeah, I told them about it, and I said, well, it's definitely not 16,000. And they're like, oh, well, the pitch and the beam and the angle has to do with the lumens, and like they're just complete total liars, and they don't want to, you know. They don't want to admit that what they're doing is wrong from time to time. So it's, I would suggest that you just don't buy from them, or be very weary of anything that looks too good to be true, because they will just straight rip you off. If you know, debate them on a topic and you're right, they will just not respond to you anymore and leave you with having to basically do an eBay claim. And claim on them and tell eBay that they're not, you know, they're not fixing their problem. It's just a complete total hassle, and I don't have time for that. It's just, they're really trashy. They're really, really trashy, and I do not recommend you get from them. Get from Top Dog Sellers. They're based out of Houston, and they don't rip me off when I buy stuff from them. So, yeah, there's that. But the Electric Blue car, and I'll try and block some of this, are doing very good. They look pretty good under this light, but you know, I mean, it's, you know, I'm using it because I have it. I might return it. It actually came damaged too. It came broken, which doesn't surprise me because they've shipped me parts, you know, they've shipped me lights with missing parts before and damaged parts, and then when you tell them, they don't do anything about it. So CLL Pet Supplies, any pet supply place based out of Madison, Wisconsin, is just be aware that they're really, really trashy, and then they won't treat you very well. So yeah. But Electric Blue car are doing great. No complaints, no losses, no issues. Let's see, this is the Planted 100, which is doing very well. I'm happy with it. I did a rescape on it, so it's kind of growing in. I pushed all of my crypts back away from it, and I replanted the Helanthrium quadriceps, which, because I did such a rescape, I tore out so much vegetation. I'm going through a bit of an algae problem on it. Not much, but I'm having to fight that. So I literally didn't dose yesterday, and I might not dose today just to kind of let it combat that algae. But Ludwigia cuba, God, that thing just grows so freaking fast. I kind of don't like it as a plant. It just grows way too fast for me. Scarlet Temple, all the excuse me, geez, Bronze Crypts. I don't know how many times I said but yeah, everything's doing good. I've got quite a few different Ludwigias over there. That's a Ludwigia ovalis, Ludwigia perensis. So just trying some stuff to see how it works. And if you notice, I tore out that giant red Reuben Amazon sword, which is now in here, and I went ahead and I potted it. I think, to be honest, I'm gonna get rid of it. I don't have a spot for it. If you would like that giant Amazon sword, let me know, because I literally don't have a spot for it in my fish room. It's just too big. I don't have a spot. I've got a few of these smaller ones that I might keep, but they get too big for me. Let's see, a little bit of algae needs to get scraped off the glass there, but there's my forest of Pogostem and Hellfry there. Pretty happy about that. And then the Fahaka. So, here's the Fahaka. He is doing wonderful. Basically, he does this all day. All day, that's what he does. At nighttime, I've come in here at night, and he is apparently a nocturnal puffer. At nighttime, he comes out and he, you know, wanders around his tank, and he swims around, and he has fun. So, I don't know. I would really like to keep him from doing that, but at the same time, if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. It's fine. I would really love it if he would be a bit more outgoing, but, you know, I don't know. We'll see what we can do. When he goes into the 125, he's going to have that nice thick sand bed, so he can burrow. But, you know, I'll also have other fish in here to look at. I've got like a couple different types of fish in mind that I think will keep me entertained and very happy with this tank no matter what he's doing. which is kind of the goal. And yeah, hopefully I can get him to kind of come out a little bit more. But quick shot at all of those snails. That is just so many dang snails in there. And they're just enjoying some canned green beans. I literally have to feed them an entire can of green beans every single day. That's what they go through every day, or they will start climbing out. Quick shot of a super red. Got like 4 super red females. Got to go back to the guy and get a male. But did you jump out of your cage? What are you doing right there? She probably jumped out. Oh my goodness. What are you doing? No, but don't. Why are you scared of me, silly? Why are you scared? Oh, you're scared, huh? So this is the bearded dragon. Speaking of them, apparently I forgot to close. I forgot to close that, and now she jumped out. So one second. Let me hit pause. I gotta get rid of this gimbal. Okay. So speaking of the bearded dragon, and I'll put in some footage somewhere in this video of what I have, but. So last night I found, and there's 3 of them here now, but I found like, it was that one there, this one here, and then I found those other 2 this morning, and they were like kind of like placed right there and right there. Obviously she's been trying to dig, and then I didn't like really pick up the signs. She'd been, you know, digging out her little hidey hole there that I gave her. That's her enclosure. Just like a quick rundown if you want to see the enclosure. I have like the nicest 18-inch Reptisun UVB I could get. I think I should upgrade to like maybe a 24, but seems to work. I don't think I see any problems. Just like a regular, you know, I think it's 50-watt lamp that I'm using for heat. That's her nighttime light, ceramic disc, and then just another like 75-watt incandescent. And then the dehumidifier, and you know, this is our temp and humidity, so 29.96 in a house that is normally like in the 70s and 60s. So we're at 62% humidity in my house, 75 degrees, and the fish room is normally up to the 80s and 70s. So having that in there is a huge benefit to keeping your dragon healthy. It's a huge game changer because it actually keeps it, you know, what it should be. So yeah, that's the enclosure, and I'm lucky I'm caught this. So what she's doing now, what I have her doing, and it looks like she's getting it figured out. Are you figuring it, huh? You digging? You learning to dig? Here you go. Come on, keep digging. Keep digging. You got to dig the eggs. But I went and got this. This is like sand, a mixture of black diamond blasting and pool filter sand from one of the spots where I just dump out old tanks and excess sand that I have. So luckily I had some sand, and then what I did, it was already kind of warm from being in the sun, but so it would clump together nice like this. And I learned this from watching another video in the past. Luckily I'd already seen it and I knew kind of what to do. But I just poured some, you know, some warm tap on it, some warm tap water, so it would clump together better for her. And she'd be more successful at, you know, kind of digging and actually getting, you know, a little hole for her to lay her eggs a bit more successfully. So, and then of course you want warm tap water so it's not too cold for her. And then I got 2 UVBs on her right now. This is weird calling her, but I've been calling her him for a while. But yeah, so I've got 2 UVBs. I'm probably going to change one out for a heat lamp. They should both, you know, be adequate. They weren't used too long. I try and always keep extra UVBs, so, you know, if I've got to order from Amazon and it takes, you know, a couple days to get here, a week, there's no issues. But yay, you get to dig, honey. Good for you. And then I guess I'm somewhat lucky. I did notice she actually had a claw missing, and I didn't know. I missed all the signs to what it was because I just thought I had a male. And she ripped off a claw, and what she would do in the morning is she would claw at the sides of the cage. I caught her climbing up here once. I think that was just her being explorative, but she would just constantly come up and scratch certain sides of the cage. And maybe that was her trying to get out so she could dig. But, you know, for substrate in here, I have, you know, pea pebbles and then some sand, and then I actually had dirt because I was going to try and do, like, actual cacti in here. I just couldn't keep them alive, so that's, you know, it ended up just being dirt and pea pebbles. But, you know, it works in the fact that she actually kind of had somewhere to dig, and she didn't really damage, you know, her claws and hands. So that's a good thing, because if she would have had just that, you know, the rock carpet that people use, she could have really hurt herself. So you're good, honey. It's just me. Keep on digging. Good job. So it's awesome. She knows what she's doing. I'm gonna let her dig. I'm gonna get a heat lamp over here so, you know, her temp stays good, and also get a thermometer. And yeah, I'm just gonna let her do that, and I gotta feed some fish. So I'm gonna leave her alone to get this rubber band out of there, and yeah, we'll tune back in if and when a bunch of eggs get laid. Alright, so it looks like we have a success. She's laid a bunch of eggs. She looks really, really tired, so I'm not sure if she's gonna bury them or what she's gonna do. She hadn't eaten for like 2 days because of this, so just gonna let her chill and hang out for now, and then whenever she's done and decides to kind of, you know, change her position, I've got 50 superworms there, crickets back there, and roaches in there, and I think I'm gonna pick up some of those giant caterpillars for her, the horned ones. So she's gonna get lots and lots and lots of food once she's done with this, once her appetite kind of kicks in, because she just hadn't had one. But yep, just gonna leave her be for a little bit longer, and then we'll start the spa treatment of bath time and food time. Alright, so I actually just got back to the house because I had to go to a doctor's appointment, and she wasn't done, so I just let her continue to lay eggs. Well, she was done, I think, laying them, but I came back, she was in that corner, kind of, I think, by the heat. That was buried entirely. It looks like no one even dug right there. It's amazing. She did a really good job burying those eggs. So immediately before I grabbed the camera, I put her back in here because, you know, she's probably tired. I gotta clean that up, but she's probably pretty worn out. You know, it's a lot of activity. I need to give her a bath, make sure all of her nails are fine, or they're definitely filed down. Like, I can tell they're filed down more than what they normally are. She lost that one there, like maybe 2 weeks ago, probably from doing the digging and me not realizing, because I thought it was a he. But yeah, so definitely a little bit thinner there. But yep, we're gonna give her a bath, get some fluids in her, and then we are going to feed as many worms as she feels like eating. So, but she definitely needs a bath. She's not normally that color. That's from all this, so she kicked up some dust. But anyways, we're gonna let her rest. Well, I thought it was a he, but it turns out it's a she. So yeah, I'll clip the footage so you know. But yeah, so she laid a bunch of eggs, and I thought it was a Mr. Lizard, but it's a Mrs. Lizard. So yeah. And I think she just pushed her door open and jumped out. So I'll have to start putting a rubber band on that. But what are you doing, hon? What are you doing? Yeah, she laid a bunch of eggs, and yeah, it just totally surprised me, because I thought, because she occasionally got a black beard, that I had a male. And I also improperly sexed. I thought because those looked like 2 bumps that it was the testes and I had a male. But it turns out, nope, I got a female. So yep, I now have a little girly lizard who occasionally is going to make a big mess and a ruckus and lay a bunch of eggs. But yeah, so she laid, I don't know how many, maybe 10 or 12 eggs, something like that. She started laying them in her cage too. You are not going under there, little girl. Oh my goodness, no. What are you doing? Whoa, whoa. What are you doing? When you make that face again. Make that face again. You weirdo. You gotta go back in here, because, yeah, I swear she just broke out of her cage. I just have magnets on it, so, like, I've got to put, like, a rubber band around those, keep her from doing that. But, yeah, that happened. Alright, so this is a follow-up to the redworms and grindal video I put out a few weeks ago. So after taking out, I don't think I mentioned in that video, but the next day I ended up tearing this culture apart. I just stirred up all the dirt and pulled out all the redworms I could. I pulled out over 100. It's been a few weeks since pulling out the redworms, and my grindal worm count is up significantly. So those redworms were absolutely out competing these grindal worms. And there might still be a few redworms in here. I wasn't able to get them all. But, you know, getting that massive amount, you know, absolutely helped tremendously. So I just did want to share that real quick. And then here is the red regular culture I literally just set up off of taking that one apart, and there's a few of them. Let's see. Yep, so there you go. Now these were like literally all in that one culture. We're talking at least 100, and I had at least pulled out like 50 you know, a few days before. So there's just, yeah, massive amounts of them. They do apparently very well in these little situations. So if you're thinking of starting up a red regular culture to feed some of your fish, do it. It will work very, very well. Just give them time, let them start breeding and reproducing. Then once they get going, after 2 to 3 months, you get their numbers up, you could start pulling them out regularly, and you probably won't have any problems depleting their numbers. If you notice numbers start to lower, leave them alone, let them grow, and then you should be good. So thought I would share that. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. I'm sorry it was so long. I just wanted to kind of cover everything that I could since I had kind of been gone. But I think that's it. So anyways, I will see you guys on the next one, and thank you for watching. Oh, also, one last thing. I told you my puffer was nocturnal, right? So he's not there. He's up and he's about. He's not just buried in the substrate like he always is. What's up, dude? What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Are you hunting the snails? So he's got plenty of snails and stuff, but I guess he just prefers to be up at night. Kinda, I guess, like me, which is what I'm doing over there, working on this video, and then while the video finishes, like, saving and loading, I'm going to de-duckweed that tank. Wish me luck.